everyone. Welcome to another Flashback 64 bonus episode. I am Gooey, joined as always by my co-host McKenna.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Me too.
A little cold today.
We're cold, but we're good. But we had a good day. We were outside at the harvest market, and then where'd we go?
The Algonquin Cemetery.
Yeah. Tell them about what we did today. Well,
at
of course.
The cemetery, or
well, the farmers market, I guess too.
Okay.
We had a delicious
we
breakfast.
got some mini pancakes, which we got some chocolate chips on top of.
We got treated.
And we got churro cheesecake, which was actually like chopped up into bite-sized pieces, so it's perfect for sharing. And we got some whipped cream and strawberries and chocolate chips on that.
That was our breakfast.
And we picked up a couple of cupcakes that we haven't eaten yet.
We'll report back on the cupcakes.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah, check out our Discord channel, Gourmet
Race.
for food updates.
Speaking of food, we'll get back to that more later. But then we took a little shuttle to a nearby cemetery, and we got a little tour of the cemetery. With some historical information. Like we talked to some dead people.
Yeah.
What was your big takeaway from that? Did you have fun?
Yeah. Got some clarification on the Algonquin town name.
Algonquin, Illinois. Yeah. We're doxing ourselves, but that's where we live. It's named after a boat. That was big. Yeah, it was interesting to get some little stories, I guess, about the settling of this area. It was fun. So yeah, it's been a good morning, chilly morning, and then we were at the grocery store and it was chilly there too. But we're fine. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. We're here with another bonus episode, our Patron Q&A. I'm pretty excited to talk about that. But first things first, we should probably mention it's the most recent thing going on, but we did just put up some merch online that you can get. We've got a shirt and a sticker right now available. Probably expand it to more things eventually, but we're just kind of getting our feet wet a little bit. If anybody, I guess, wants to see anything specific, write in and let us know. And we're still tweaking it a bit because I don't know how any of this works, and I apparently our first order we lost money on. So I don't know if you're wondering about the pricing and all that stuff. I'm trying to make it so I don't care about making a big profit or whatever, but I want to get it, get merch to people without losing money at least. So, but it's okay if you're listening. That don't let that stop you. You can try to order it. I think I fixed it, so we'll see. But yeah, it's up there. It's on Etsy. If you look Flashback 64 on Etsy, you'll find us. I don't know the exact URL, but
I think a sweatshirt is next priority.
Yeah, it's getting cold.
Yeah.
We're cold. You need a sweatshirt.
I want a sweatshirt.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, before we got a couple things to do as well before we get into our main subject. I've pulled some various comments and reviews that I want to get to, and again, thanks to everyone for leaving reviews or comments on YouTube or whatever you do, reaching out to us, letting us know that you like it. It makes it, I mean, it's fun regardless, but it makes it a little bit more worth it to know that people are also enjoying it. So McKenna, do you want to read? I pulled first, we have a 5-star review, so whatever, and just go give us 5 stars, give us a review. We'll try to read all of them, but here's one of them
from B Huck It Farmore.
Is that Bucket Farmer?
bucket fart. Is that what that is?
I don't know. Is this inappropriate?
Just going over our heads.
Yeah, a little bit.
Love this podcast. Although most of the content that they cover on this podcast came from my infancy, I still find it very entertaining and enjoyable. Gooey, McKenna, and the rest of the gang always put out great content. I am a Zelda Dungeon content consumer. Zelda Dungeon content consumer.
A ZDCC, of course.
And found these guys and this podcast through that channel. They do a great job on both channels.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's
thanks.
Appreciated. So that was a review. Thank you. I also pulled just a couple comments from YouTube because, well, some are informative and others are just other nice words. So thank you. First, I want to bring attention to this one from Infection Form, who is a patron of ours, or now it's a member or something. Patreon just changed everything, and it says, or no, it's called the Audience. They're now
they changed their name,
they changed a lot of their branding. All right, so
the brain logo.
Yeah, so you're no longer a patron. You're part of the audience.
Thank you, audience members.
But anyway, also commented. Infection Form also commented on some of our recent stuff. Really appreciate it. But they said thanks for the shout out. So here's another one. And continuing to put these on YouTube. This is pretty much the only media content platform I use, so it's really convenient for me that these come out here. Love the bonus ep. Haven't seen Independence Day since the 90s, but I still remember it fondly. And so I just wanted to pull that up because I read that and I was like, okay, I'm glad we put these on YouTube. Because other podcasts I've done, I've been sort of in the middle on, like, is it even really worth it? Like, you can go listen to it in the app. But I'm seeing our YouTube videos, like, have a pretty comparable place compared to also the podcast feed. So we're going to keep doing them on both. And yeah, it was nice. It was nice to hear that it's helping some people listen to the show.
Yeah. And
then we just got one more comment that just reminded me of a nice review. So do you want to read? It's Tim Brown over on YouTube left this comment.
I'm a big N64 enthusiast. So happy to find this podcast. Currently playing through the N64 library chronologically.
Yeah, so hopefully we can... You're probably going faster than us, but you can always dip in and then see how we lined up to you, which is pretty fun. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I saw other comments of people. There are like some regular commenters over on YouTube and stuff too, so that's just really appreciated. So if you're listening on YouTube, thank you.
Yeah.
So speaking of food, let's do a little snack update because we have tried some of the snacks.
Yeah, our 96
which one was that?
The
Push Pops.
I think those are the Push Pop, the triple. Well, the food from the list was like the triple Push Pop, which had like 3-in-1, but they don't make them anymore. So we just got regular.
And then we were talking about it before. I was thinking of Push Ups, like the ice cream, but I also do remember the triple Push Pops. But we just had the regular ones. We still have them actually.
Yeah,
they're kind of probably crystallized with our saliva now. Because they just go back in their tube and sit there. Yeah, we just got 2.
I tried to like do a 2-in-1, but I think the triple one is more it's shaped better because they're kind of triangular, so that the 3 make a circle. Trying to put 2 cylinders. Trying to put the 2 cylinders is a little unwieldy.
I feel like the basic Push Pop, both of ours, like, the functionality wasn't really working right. Like, one, it was just, like, flying out of the thing.
Aren't we supposed to be able to, like, slowly
push it up and down?
Push it up, or push it back down?
So they both broke eventually. So, that's the only thing I really can say about, like, reviewing it, really. Because if you're talking about taste, it's like, what do you want? Like, you know exactly what these taste like.
Yeah.
You know, like
If you've ever had, you know, a blue raspberry flavored thing.
Do you like candy? Like this is candy.
Honestly, it's not my favorite thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's the thing where it's like you like that or you don't. It's not like, well, I don't know. Maybe there are people who are like, I like this, but I don't like Jolly Ranchers. Like, I'm trying to imagine someone who's like a snob about these types of candies, and it's like they all.
I feel like it's just
taste good
too much to me. Like,
too much,
Jolly
okay.
Rancher is like a good side. Not that that's not even a candy I'd go to on.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. And then what was this? We had the cereal. Why did we have the cereal?
Oh, that's 97. Do you want to cover that already?
I mean, we already had it.
Well,
We're
yeah,
in 97. The
we
cereal's
are.
out.
But are we gonna do a like 97? We're gonna do a 97 in review bonus.
Okay,
or should we talk about it?
Well, whatever. We can come back to it.
I did want to make
cereal.
something with it.
Okay. Well, we had the cereal. What was it? It was
French Toast Crunch.
French Toast Crunch. Okay.
Which was, they had it in 97. It was discontinued at some point, and then they brought it back a few years ago.
Yeah. What did you think?
I liked it. It definitely tastes
prefer...
like French Toast Crunch or French toast. It's got that like frozen French toast stick flavor to it. You know, real mapley.
I definitely prefer the cinnamon toast crunch variety, but yeah, I had it a couple mornings for breakfast, and I was like, I don't eat cereal much anymore. It's like I don't really want milk in the morning. I guess I don't mind a little like milk or creamer in like a coffee, but like
I feel like I eat cereal more. Like, I feel bad as an adult eating like sugary cereal for breakfast, even though I want to.
I don't want to.
But sometimes I'll just grab a handful of cereal in the middle of the day as a snack.
Yeah, I definitely have a phase where I would just like have Frosted Flakes whenever, you know. I could go back to that. I could get into that again. So that's the snack update portion. Let's see, one final thing before we get to the main event is we've had a couple games, and I thought the bonus episodes here would be a good time to up our rankings of the game, which I've made a nice little chart for, and we've only covered 3 games since, but I talked about this with someone in the Discord. I was like, I don't really want to like do very serious rankings during the episode, because they're not, we, you know, and some of them we don't cover every single last aspect of the game. It's more of an open discussion about our experiences with them, and I don't want it to, like, these episodes to be looked at as like these are like definitive serious reviews, you know. So I thought by not putting that in there, but relegating our reviews to the bonus episodes, we get to kind of have our cake and eat it too a little bit. So we get to have the fun of ranking things, but I don't want it to distract in the episode. So since then, and of course we've got the Ryan of Standard Definition Gaming. We've got his scale of ranking things out of 5 for vibes and fun factor, the only 2 categories that really matter in a game. So we've only covered 3 games since then, so I don't know if we'll do it, you know, every month, because it depends on how many games, but 3 is enough to knock out in one sitting. So why don't we why don't we just rank NBA Hang Time? Where does that go for you on first the vibes and then the fun factor? I'm going to try to enter it as we do it.
Ooh. How did I rank other things?
Okay.
Now I need to like reference
we can't be too serious here. We can't like get into
right.
Just like your
I'm just thinking of, I feel like I had fun except for when they decided we were too good at the game.
God. I think this one, yeah.
I'm gonna go. I feel like I gotta go like a touch below Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey with these. And go maybe 3 with the vibes.
Okay, yeah. We're pretty
And
nice to that for the.
you want me to go and do fun factor too?
Yeah, or I can tell you vibes. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I had Wayne Gretzky. I actually think vibes wise, it's a little better, but not enough. Like it's a little bit more fun, like sports, like arcadey game, because you've got some of the you can have the aliens and stuff like that. It's got like the rap in the middle. Okay. Actually, I might even go higher on the vibes now that I'm thinking about it.
Wow.
Because that was like the most fun part for me, and you get the thing where your guy goes on fire. I was saying in the Wayne Gretzky episode they had some of that, but it wasn't as outrageous as NBA Jam or Blitz or whatever. So I'll probably actually say the vibe is a 4, and
okay.
And yeah, it had a halftime rap where they rapped about the game. So I mean that's good for me. Fun factor, probably a different story. What do you think about fun factor?
I think I'll give it a 4. Yeah, 4. I think the only thing
that's pretty good for a game that we just got whipped in, and we.
Well, I think I was. Other than that, I was like, if I could play it without the AI, I think it would just be fun all the time.
Well, and with friends,
yeah, or not, we did
a couple games with Nico. I think we played with Andy one time. It was really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I think. Well, what did I give? I gave Wayne Gretzky a whole blown 5. Yeah. Wow. Well, I would say I didn't have more fun playing it than Cruisin' or Killer Instinct, but I wouldn't drop it that low. So I'll probably go 3 on that. I'll go 3. I think in the right setting, it's a lot of fun, but then, like, yeah, on its own, like when we were teaming up, it was a little less fun. But yeah, it was still all right. Still all right game. Mario Kart 64 though.
This is easy.
What? Okay, so you're gonna say vibes are 5?
Oh yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I talked about the feeling like I'm in the future playing that game, and like all the music and the the unique tracks, and then fun factor for me is also going to be a 5.
Yeah,
because
me too.
It does hit on a lot of levels. Like single player, it's fun. If you really want to get down to the time trials, it's fun. Playing Grand Prix single player or 2 player is fun. Playing versus multiplayer, we do it now almost monthly. Mm-hmm. And then of course the battle is really fun. Yeah, this is not a hot take for sure.
Right.
Oh, Turok. We got to talk about Turok. Vibes. What do you think?
Ooh, let's see.
I think for me, I'll go ahead and go first because I think the vibes are awesome. All the different types of enemies and stuff, and the music. We talked about the music and the fog and
yeah.
Obviously, I just love. Well, that's more a fun factor, but just getting in there and getting to play right away, I love that. We talked about like it's not as like Jay really mentioned, like it's not as like brutal as Mortal Kombat is or whatever. Right. But I still think it's cool, blowing a guy and his corpse goes flying away, blowing up a guy. So
got a solid cheat menu that
the cheats are awesome, man.
That gives it like bonus vibes.
Yes, you can add in your own vibes. And then I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking more of Turok beyond this, but I just love the concept and everything. So I'm gonna give it a solid 5 for vibes. I think
I think I can agree.
okay.
Yeah, I can give it a 5.
What do you think about for fun factor? I'll let you do it first.
So, I definitely I did play it a little bit on the Switch, and I think I had more fun with it on the Switch because just the controls. I think really that's what takes away from it the most from me is I'm just getting used to the controls. Also, it's just not generally the type of game I would play. But I still think it was pretty fun, so I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay, I like that. We're very nice, I think. For me, so I already really liked the game, even though like I had the similar complaints with the controls and stuff. But I already was really captivated by it, and then the cheats and stuff really helped me like kind of get through it and really appreciate all of it. And then now I'm on the last level. I've been playing in chunks each night or most nights on the Switch, and it's become like one of my favorite games to play. So I'm just like I love playing this game. It's got to be it's a 5 for me. I think this is one of the I think it's one of the coolest games ever. Yeah, so it's that's where we're standing at now. We had a good run of games, even though we're kind of mixed. We're not going to give away our thoughts on the games we've been prepping for, so we're going to leave it at that for now. And I'll update the list like graphic wise, and we'll kind of get a better idea. But we're still like that's going to see some of these rise up to the top with Mario and Wave Race, Pilot Wings. So that'd be cool. And we don't have anything down there. Oh, a little update I want to give. This doesn't really have anything to do with the game itself for N64, but I was playing some Mortal Kombat 2 with Connor on the SNES Classic recently, and I was really starting to get the hang of some of the moves of I was playing as Sub-Zero, so I was really starting to get like some of the ice combos down, and I was like, oh, this is like fun. And then I was getting my butt, like I was losing like almost every match. I think I won like once out of 10, but you know what I mean, like I felt like I was knowing what I was doing, and some of them I was close. I don't know if he's going easy on me or anything, but you know, I don't know, I feel bad seeing Mortal Kombat at the bottom of the list, but Mortal Kombat. But that's just how it goes, you know. So okay, let's get into the main feature here. We've got questions from our patrons. So we do have our audience. We do have a Patreon that you can check out, patreon.com/flashback64. And for this episode, it's only $1. It's only $1. And it just helps us out a little bit. You know, we're pretty new. We're monthly. We're up and coming here. And you know, anything helps, so we appreciate that. And we thought, we can't offer much, but we could do this little thing. We thought, hey, it'd be fun to get some questions that exclusively come for our patrons. And we'll probably do these more in the future as well. I don't know how often, but we'll definitely dip in. We don't have that many patrons, so I don't want to like constantly be like, give us more questions. Then you're doing too much work having to think of questions. So
you the audience has to do homework. It's like the shows where they ask for audience participation
and they don't want to do it.
They're like, no, don't call on me. I'm not here.
Right? Yeah, we don't want to do that. But people were quick to respond and like write, and then I was like, well, let's. We said you can give us 2 questions. So a lot of people who did ask us questions gave us 2, which is great because that's gonna help us. I I don't know, get a little bit more out of this. So we really appreciate it. But let's go. We're just gonna go in kind of chronological order, I think, at least how they're listed. So, do you want to read the first one?
Yeah, from Golly Rogers, who has been on the podcast.
I'm pretty sure almost everyone has been on.
Oh yeah.
Well, about half the people.
A lot of these people.
So thanks for coming on and giving us $1.
The Nintendo 64 has a lot of great games on it, but with any game system comes a handful of canceled games. Were you two planning on talking about any canceled games? And if not, what are some that you find interesting or wonder what they would have been like and how they would have been received?
So yeah, definitely. So we won't go too much further into the subject now because I don't want to obviously give away. We don't have anything like specifically planned right now, but we do have some. There's at least 2 that really stick out in my mind. Or one's not canceled. There's one canceled game and one that was never a game. Maybe that's more of a tease, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I feel like I'm not super familiar with a lot of them. Earthbound is probably the famous one.
We've seen advertisements for it in Nintendo Power.
Nintendo Power stuff, and then them talking about it. It's like, ooh.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do. Yeah, we might even do like maybe an Earthbound. It'll maybe be like a mix. Like we'll talk about that as well as maybe we'll just talk about the other Earthbound games. Maybe we'll go through them together or something. That's definitely something that's planned. I don't know when, but that's planned. And then another idea for an episode that we're gonna do eventually with Andy, and I'm sure it's been discussed on their podcast as well, but we're gonna talk about just the fact that there is no Metroid game on the Nintendo 64, which there's a lot of interesting stuff there that we could talk about, but we're gonna save that too. Obviously, we don't want to just give that all away yet, but and then I'm sure there's more interesting ones maybe we don't even know about. So, but yeah, that's one of the many types of bonus episodes we want to do. So our next one, I'll read from our old pal Quaid. What is the most anticipated game you are looking forward to covering? Do you have one? Like one you're really looking forward to doing?
Can I cheat and give like a couple?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm really looking forward to covering both Zeldas.
Sure, yeah.
Ocarina of Time is not one of the first games I played, but definitely something that got me into gaming. And it's my favorite game series. And then, but those are ones I both played. Something I'm looking forward to covering that I haven't played is Star Fox.
Okay.
And that's mostly because I hear a lot of comparisons to Zelda.
Really? In Star Fox?
Yeah.
Well,
sort of, I don't know, formula-y. I believe there's a Zelda Dungeon article.
Yes, well, so that would be something that we really wouldn't tackle unless we got to the GameCube, because actually you'll see, but the Star Fox on SNES and N64 are nothing like Zelda.
Oh, are they different? They're really different.
Yes, they're like you're flying around in a ship shooting, but this is actually very interesting. Star Fox there's a GameCube Star Fox game where they took the engine of Ocarina of Time and they put I don't even know if it was originally correct me if I'm wrong, people out there, but I don't think it was originally intended as a Star Fox game, but I could be wrong. But then then they put Star Fox in it. So, and it became a Star Fox game. So that does exist, but No, we're gonna be flying around shooting ships. More like a Star Wars arcade game. That's what I really think of when I play it. So, but yeah, that'll be cool. Do you have any other ones?
I just thought of another one.
Sure.
Harvest Moon.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm playing the SNES one now, kind of in preparation.
Yeah.
I'll give myself a little introduction.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all those. I'm looking forward to Mischief Makers, which I think will be really cool. It's a game I played a little bit. We have some people that I've sort of talked to about guesting on that, but that's like, and that's like one that's actually like a more of a side-scrolling game, so I think that'll be kind of cool. You don't really see those as much on N64, so, and I think that'll be interesting to kind of cover some of those, especially when we're going to talk about them tying into that Metroid conversation, because I think a little bit of like what's the deal with side scrollers on the N64 might be a thing. Another one I'm really looking forward to is a game I played a lot as a kid, but like haven't fully played in a long time, was the Mystical Ninja starring Goemon games. I think there's two. At least I know there's at least the one, which is also coming up in 97. I just remember that being a really quirky, weird game, and it also it's before Zelda, but it has some like levels that kind of are like Zelda dungeons as well. So it'll be, at least I sort of remember them that way, because you like going at like a castle level, so that it sort of gives you that feeling. Outside of that, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool games. Probably my favorite N64 game, or one of them, is Perfect Dark, which isn't till like towards the end of the lifespan, so it'll be a while before we do that. But yeah, those are some ones I'm looking forward to. Was there any other ones you wanted to add before? This is pretty good.
I feel like
yeah, we're looking forward to a lot.
1 to like 5.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's most anticipated game. My bad.
Yeah, there's no X.
Super Smash Bros. I'm looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, there's
love that game.
Probably the ones that I played as a kid and did not get very far in, but
I'm also
I'd like to decide if that's because I was a kid or because they're actually hard.
Yeah, it could be. It could go either way.
I'm talking about like the Bugs Life game.
Yeah, for sure.
I specifically remember like one level that's in my head.
I'm looking forward to more ones coming up that are on NSO that have multiplayer, so we could do some more game nights.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to I don't want to rush on those, and you know what I mean.
Do some are the Mario Party games on NSO?
I think the first one at least is, yeah. So like, yeah, that, or they should put Smash on there if it's not.
Yeah.
But Mario Tennis, stuff like that. Mario Golf. Mm-hmm. Okay. You want to take? I think I did the last one.
Yeah. For another another.
Well, on here, yeah.
Yeah. Infection Form. What are your thoughts on the modern N64 scene? Devices like the EverDrive have really opened up the console in the last decade to mods and even brand new homebrew releases. Are you planning on covering any of these as part of the series? Or perhaps they'd be more appropriately relegated to a bonus episode at some point?
Are you familiar with the EverDrive?
No.
So I was looking in, yeah, it's really cool. And there's like other things that are similar, but basically the concept is it's like a cartridge you can get, but you can load ROMs onto it, but it will play on your Nintendo 64. So you could, obviously just load a ROM up of Ocarina of Time and play that, or you can load up mods on there. So it basically allows you to play like whatever on your N64, like if they got a ROM of it. So I think that's really cool. I definitely, that's one thing I would look into. Um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they would be relegated to bonus episodes, but it would probably be like, yeah, we would probably do like bonus episodes maybe if one catches our eye and stuff. Like, I haven't gotten one yet, so like it's not currently. It's one of those things. It's like down the road because we've got all kinds of years ahead of us of doing this. But
I do have a bonus episode idea that's kind of in a similar vein for Nintendo 64 inspired indie games.
Yeah.
I have a little list that I'm compiling, and just anytime I see something that we could talk about, I add it to the list. And
for sure,
I think further down the line, once we've played more of the games and have more to compare them to,
yeah,
would be a good time to do that.
There's some that are like, it's like directly, like there's the one we saw that's like, oh, it's GoldenEye or whatever.
Yeah.
And even, I guess even from, I mean, in the indie games, a lot of those have caught our eye, but I was, that even just popped into my mind. Like, we could also do games like Ukulele or whatever that are clearly like, that's like Banjo and Kazooie inspired, or like it's a spiritual, a successor to it. So we could mix it up. There's all kinds of, I guess they'd be bonus episodes, but I wouldn't say they're getting relegated necessarily. Quaid asks, what is everyone's Nintendo official favorite controller color?
I love the transparent ones.
Anything transparent is sick, yeah.
The, like blue aqua-y one, probably.
I can't remember what colors like I actually had. I think a lot of them were just more plain, but I remember sometimes I'd go to a friend's and see like a color that I hadn't like seen before, and it was like, whoa. I like the ice blue one is cool. I think Quaid said that's the one he had. The like green jungle one is cool. But also I like even like just the plain color, like the red one we have, or there was like a yellow one. Like, they do a good job. I just like even the non-transparent, like colorful ones are really cool. So all of them. Oh yeah, go ahead.
From Golly Rogers again. What are some of your most loved soundtracks on the Nintendo 64?
For sure. Well,
This is an easy one for me. Well, I'm not as familiar with as many as you probably, but.
Well, the sickest ones to me are the, well, first I would say GoldenEye, but then taking it even further, Perfect Dark. Those are just like the coolest in terms of vibe. You know what I mean? They're just so, it's cool. All I can say is like cool. They're bleeding cool. But then we're gonna say Zelda.
Oh yeah, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Like you know what's fun? I was thinking, whenever people ask me what kind of music I listen to, I never say video game music, and I was like, I should say that because I do just casually listen to video game music a lot. Sometimes I'll just be, I feel like Majora's Mask has a lot of songs that get stuck in my head frequently.
The
Deku Palace song is frequently stuck in my head. The Milk Bar
That's
theme.
a great one, yeah.
I was kind of on a Milk Bar kick recently. I was listening to covers of it. I'm waiting for someone to do like a jazzy saxophone Milk Bar cover. Someone do that, please.
On top, well, but actually, I also want to mention too. I've been listening to. I want to give a shout out to the Bar Silence podcast that we've interacted with a bit online. We just kind of made friends with. It's a great video game music podcast, and if you listen to it, it almost is like listening to a radio show where they give you some info on the game or whatever and then play a couple tracks. And they had an episode on Perfect Dark. That was the first one I listened to because I was like, well, what's like probably the best one for me? And that was just awesome to listen to and get some info about the games. I also want to I mentioned this in the episode, but like I used to just like listen to the Wave Race 64 soundtrack. That one's really good. Just some of the ones we've covered already are awesome. Turok and Mario is awesome, obviously. Anything Koji Kondo, I guess you're gonna get. But I mean, there's so many classics. There's a lot of amazing soundtracks for sure. Is this me?
Yeah.
All right, Andy Spiteri. Oh, I was thinking about this one a while when I first read it, and it's been a while, so hopefully I can remember.
You've read these questions before. This is my first time seeing
them.
I
forgot about them, though, so... But the year is 1998. You two are in charge of making a live-action Wave Race movie. What's the general gist of the movie, and who stars in it? Okay, I've got an idea already, because... Well... We can combine two similar movies into one, which is The Fast and the Furious and Point Break.
Because I knew you were gonna say
it's about racing and water sports. So yeah, I think you could do something like that where it's like, obviously it'd be like about racing, but that could be also like the setting for maybe something that's going on like behind the scenes. It wouldn't necessarily just be a sports movie on its own, you know. Basically the gist of both of those movies is, you know, like an undercover cop joins like a community of surfers or racers to like you know, get close to who they think are doing these heists, and you know, gets too close basically. And so 98, I mean, you could have cast even some of the same actors, but basically, yeah, you would have someone like a Keanu Reeves or Paul Walker type thing. Who would be good in 98? Leonardo DiCaprio would have been perfect for this. John Leguizamo. We could pull from any we could pull from the Romeo and Juliet cast. Michelle Rodriguez would be cool in that. Vin Diesel would be good for it. I mean, I'm pretty sure in like the Triple X movies, he definitely jet skis.
Yeah.
Do you have a different idea though? Like mine is crime racing movie, but
yeah, I feel like that's probably a pretty good. I don't know what else I would do.
I feel like it's not wholesome enough. It definitely
feels like a DCOM movie that you could do.
Oh, what's that?
A Disney Channel original movie.
Oh yeah,
like
well there was like all those like Brink and stuff like that.
I'm like thinking of the sports movies they did. Like there's definitely like snowboarding. Was there a surfing one?
Johnny
the same
Tsunami.
Was that the same thing? Am I thinking of the same movie?
I don't know. Luck of the Irish.
Yeah. Kid friendly. Yeah. Who was popular in 98 on Disney?
98.
I feel like they did a lot of like more unknowns for like the lead roles.
Yeah, and I can't think of anybody who were in those. This is so okay, we've got a major movie or a Disney Channel original movie. I think that would actually, like, both of those sound pretty fun though. Like one's more, definitely more. I think Nintendo would probably not do a heist racing movie, but we're I would say a little bit more ambitious. Of course, you'd have to have you could get a bunch of 1998 like original licensed music too, which would be kind of badass. But of course, you need like some of the Wave. Maybe you get someone to cover the Wave Race soundtrack too. You know.
You know, I keep thinking. I don't know why. I think it's just because of the year, and I'm thinking of like actors from around that time, and they're all either like too young or too old. And I keep thinking Heath Ledger.
Oh, Heath Ledger. Okay.
It's like that's like right around.
Let's just do
10
this.
Things I Hate About You time.
1998 actors. Oh wait, that's
actors born in 1998.
Hold on, we're gonna do biggest popular actors in 1998. Let's flip it. Let's say who we're gonna read some of these and we're gonna determine if they would be good. Robin Williams.
He could, I don't know.
Not as the lead.
Maybe like do they have coaches or something?
Yeah, him and John Travolta could be rival coaches. Nicolas Cage.
Oh my
okay,
God.
Yeah, we're thinking of Face Off here. Okay. That's fair. Here's
now
okay.
He's got a big old list.
Bruce Willis, George Clooney. Okay, I was thinking you'd be younger, right? We need some younger people. Matt Damon. Okay, Matt Damon could have done it. I don't know if he's right though.
Leo's in there.
Jim Carrey, he would have maybe been good. Robert De Niro. Now that would be awesome. Pierce Brosnan. Oh, Matthew McConaughey. He could have. He could have been good. Yeah. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt would have been an excellent choice. Yeah, actually, Brad Pitt and Leo would definitely be a good combo.
I still think Heath Ledger could have been in there.
If it was in the 80s, I feel like, or like early 90s, Tom Cruise might have been good. Heath Ledger is a good one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where's some actresses though? Well, we said some. Who is it in any of the people in the movies Leo was in would also make a good female person to star across him, I guess. Mm-hmm. Brent Spiner at number 42. All right, Brent Spiner we're casting.
Jet skis.
Jean Reno. Okay. Enough of this. I think we've successfully answered that. Okay. Go for it.
Okay. All right. Again with Andy. We've talked about Metroid a bunch. What?
I was hinting at this, yeah.
But is there another series that skipped having an installment on the N64 that really hurt the series' trajectory?
I don't know, because I can't think of one.
Like big.
In fact, like
I feel like the big Nintendo series, like, you know, you had Zelda, you had Mario, you had Pokemon.
You didn't really have
Pikmin wasn't.
Pikmin didn't exist yet. Yeah. I like immediately went to thinking about like the Smash roster, and it's like, well, they're all in there except Ness and Samus. Who's like Kid Icarus? Like its
when did
trajectory.
Fire Emblem start?
Fire Emblem was on Game Boy, but yeah,
is that more of a handheld series?
Well, I think it wasn't popular in America. Like they didn't release some of the games.
Okay.
Yeah. The best thing to really think about is like what are like SNES, because like even ones that didn't specifically continue, they had other.
There was an Animal Crossing that was only released in Japan.
Right. Yeah, but it didn't. Yeah, that didn't.
That was like the start of it. So. And
then other games I can think of like non-Nintendo that skipped N64 like benefited like Final Fantasy benefited by skipping the console altogether.
Wait, is it about the game series or about the console trajectory? What's the question here?
I thought the question was the series.
The series. Okay.
So I can't think of any off the top of my head that's like most of them I feel like they either brought it, you know, to the N64 or so I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Like I can't think of like a big SNES games. Like they all if there's one I'm not thinking of, definitely let me know. But I think most of them we saw come to N64. I mean, Oh, I guess I don't know about much about like beyond the NES one, but like I'm seeing like Punch Out wasn't on, or was it? Was there a Punch Out game? I don't know. Like even F-Zero had a game, and there was Donkey Kong Country, and so no, I mean, well, Earthbound I guess was the other one.
Yeah.
So that, but I don't know if that was a foregone conclusion or not. So. Yeah, well, we'll cover those more in depth. So, and if Andy, if you've or anyone has some that we're not thinking of, we can dive deeper into them. If just let us know. Okay, we got two more, both from Scurvy Scurvo. Favorite go-to snack when you go to the movies besides popcorn. Let's do this. Let's do movies, and then we'll also say gaming, or does it differ?
Yeah.
Movie snack.
I feel like I don't like them as much anymore. I feel like they were better when I was, but I love getting cookie dough bites.
Yeah, I don't like them as much.
I just remember when I was younger, I'd be like, oh yes, cookie dough bites, and now I get them. I'm like, these don't taste as good. Is it me or is it them? It's not me, it's you.
I like to. I think it really depends on who I'm going with. I don't want to get something. Well, it depends. Sometimes I like to get something for myself, but a lot of times now when I go, like, I'll go with you, and I usually would want to, like, stuff I would want to get. I don't think it's stuff you would like necessarily. So it just isn't stuff I've gotten for a while, but.
I like the churros.
At like AMC or whatever.
They're not as good as like a real churro, but when they're filled with chocolate and you dunk them in icing.
I do like getting that stuff. It's never that satisfying, but I'll sometimes be like, ooh, the nachos or the pretzel bites or whatever, and it's never that good. But I don't know. I think
I do have something that I thought of.
Oh.
It's not really a snack. It's like a full meal. But there was a Wawa. I'm getting very East Coast here.
Oh my god.
There's a Wawa right next to the movie theater, and I'd go in and get a sub and just like stick it in my bag.
Oh yeah.
And I'd pull out the full sub at the movie, and I'd usually have another snack like Reese's cups or something.
I remember a lot when I would meet up with I'd meet up with our friend Karen in the city to go see movies, and this happened a couple times, and it's on the same road as the Regal is on the same road as that restaurant. We went to Quesadilla together, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that vegetarian Mexican place, Quesadilla, and I feel like a couple times we've met up, and she'd be like, got a whole burrito in her bag or whatever, and I'm like, hell yeah, or a torta or something, you know. One move I used to like to do a lot, and I was reminded of it recently, and so I'm gonna probably do this again soon, but I used to like getting Skittles and popcorn and kind of mixing the two. Like do a bite with a little bit of both, and so you get the sweet and salty type situation. That's really good. And then I like to get a good root beer.
Yeah, a soda.
That's like, I don't even actually really like. I don't know. I don't want to say it. Root beer isn't even really my favorite drink, and popcorn isn't even really my favorite snack. But it feels like such a, despite all of Coke's branding, I'm like when I'm like really excited about a movie, and I'm like, it's movie mode time. You got to get a big popcorn and a big drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
guess gaming snacks is different because like we kind of have just whatever is available, so it's like anything could be a gaming snack, you know.
I do have like I don't go to the store as much anymore to buy games, but I do remember having a couple games where I'd go to like Target to get my game, and then I'd pick up a box of zebra cakes, and that would be my snack. Now it's not like something you can keep eating for a while, but it was nice to like, get myself a little treat. But my other thing is that I used to, well, we do it sometimes. We did this when Tears of the Kingdom came out. We got sushi.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a really good hands-off food. You can eat it with the chopsticks. You can keep gaming. You don't get your hands messy.
Yeah. No, that sushi was great.
That's one of my favorite foods, so.
Okay, we got one final question, I should say. It's kind of broad, and we will be covering some of these things as we go, but let's take a crack at it.
Your favorite N64 memories?
Favorite?
I have a very specific one.
Okay, go for it.
Of when I was a kid, my neighbor had Ocarina of Time, and that was my first exposure to it, and I didn't end up playing it myself for a long time, but it stuck with me. Like, for so long, I was like, I want to play that game. And, yeah, I specifically remember seeing Kokiri Forest and watching my neighbor go through Ganon's castle, the Rainbow Bridge, and then going through the castle and fighting Ganondorf. And, yeah, for years and years and years, that was in my head. And finally, I was 14. I was like, I'm going to get this game for myself and play it. And that's how I got into Zelda.
Yes. Okay. Yes, yeah, I was I was hesitant to think of ones that I'm that I won't already talk about on episodes like that. That's a really good memory, though. But I guess I'll say, because it's sort of facilitated being able to start doing this podcast was, so I have had I don't know what's happened to various N64s I've had throughout my life. I have a ton now that I gotta see if they work. Actually, let's talk about that real quick. So I don't know, have I told this story yet? I don't know.
Think so.
Well, I recently was on the side quest of the Fun and Games podcast, where I explained my love of the original Legend of Zelda and the Zelda series as a whole. But basically, long story short, is my grandpa was kind of the reason I got into the Legend of Zelda series. And when he passed away late last year in December, or after that, they were kind of clearing out some of his stuff. This is a two stories in one. I'm gonna mix here, because I just realized I'm tangenting. But anyway, they're clearing out some of his stuff, and my dad knows that he told me my uncle was my uncles are my dad's two brothers are both, I guess, they're both big into gaming as well, and so he was taking some of the gaming stuff that my grandpa had, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was they were down doing that. I don't care what I get, but my dad saw some stuff that he was like, hold on, this is stuff that would matter to me. So he specifically grabbed some stuff, and some of it I have no idea what the hell is up with it, but some things that were in there is just a box, the box for Majora's Mask. That was pretty cool, a pretty torn Ocarina of Time guide, but also multiple N64s and accessories, and they're all old and dusty. I gotta clean them off and see what actually works and stuff. So but I did get that, and that was really nice. That was really sweet. Obviously, my grandpa, when I was young, got me a lot of Zelda stuff, as gifts and stuff. But what really was the catalyst to get started on this podcast was because, as I said, I've had different N64s over the years. I had one when I was a kid, and then whatever. But a few years ago, I didn't have one anymore. But then my it was in early 2020. My best friend passed away, and after the like, I guess it wasn't like a funeral, but like after like kind of the get together, or actually the whole week of, one of my other good friends, one of my other best pals who we lived together with, was staying at her apartment while in town. And so I was over there helping, I guess, like clean up stuff. Like, so my friend was like a massive hoarder and we found all kinds of hilarious and cool stuff in there. So that was kind of fun because we were like, obviously it was very sad. I was devastated, but we kind of got to like go through and like try to imagine her like buying all these things. We found like the Akira jacket in her closet. And we found the Ocarina of Time replica. And my friend Ramona was like, I think she probably bought that to give to you. So like I took that. But then like she had all these games, and it was very, very messy and stuff, but there was like a decent amount of like I saw different, there was like an SNES, but it looked like incomplete, but there was like an N64 and like a handful of games, and I was like, maybe I'll take this, because I had very fond memories of when we first became friends, going over to their house, and she would be like, oh, you should play some games, I'll watch you and like make food and stuff. And I was like, okay, and so I was like, okay, I'll take that, so that's how I got a lot of the collection that was the basis of where we're going from now. So like every time we play, I'm playing on her N64, and I specifically, when I first got it to test it out, I first tested Ocarina of Time just to see, and when I loaded that up, there was a completed file under the name GUI on there that it was probably like 10 years ago, but I played through all of that with her. So that was, I don't know, that was like a really nice thing to discover, and that even that, now I don't want to go too much into Ocarina of Time, but that led to a lot of like fun memories off of that, because I remember she came on the first tour that my old band Dowsing ever did, beyond like a weekend tour, and one of the places we stayed had an N64 and Ocarina of Time, and the person whose house we were staying at is also where we were playing the show, was like, oh yeah, you can just, like, I booted up and they were like, oh, you can just play on this one file or whatever, and because it was just the night, and I was like, didn't think I would play like the whole game, obviously, but the file was called Come, which inspired the New Year's when I was playing that. But then that also led to, because that was right around the time I'd been doing Zelda Dungeon for a little bit too, and that inspired the Dowsing music video for Midwest Living, where I play through Ocarina of Time while we do a time lapse and people are like partying around and stuff. So anyway, two different stories of how I got a deceased person's N64, I guess, but there's so much more with Ocarina of Time, like, because that's just beginning. Well, Ocarina of Time we'll dive more into, because I do have childhood memories of playing it, and yeah, with like we said like I probably have more experience playing more games at least, so as we get to them, I'll definitely get into more, because I have memories of playing games as a kid with my friends, with my brother, who will also be on some of those episodes. So yeah, we'll definitely touch more upon those. Anyway, sorry, I kind of went off there, but Yeah, N64 is it's a formative console for me. So, anything else you wanted to add? We're making
that was
new
my big
N64 memories. I have so many like Ocarina of Time base memories of like almost every era of my life. You know what I mean? Like various like my friends in middle school and high school. I have specific memories with like my band I was in high school when I was just a kid. Anyway, okay, let's get out of here. All
right.
So, yes, we always got to thank Nico and Corey for our logo and artwork and music and stuff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Good pals. Thanks to our patrons who asked us all these questions and helped us get another episode in. Most we read your name, but for the ones who didn't, this isn't even complete because Andy's on there, but who didn't we? Okay, Nico also is a patron, so thank you. Adriel, we appreciate you, and Kai, we appreciate all you as well, even though you didn't ask us a question. Just kidding, it's fine.
You guys can get us on the next round.
Get us the next time around, yeah. Yeah, like, subscribe, all that stuff we mentioned at the top on whatever you're on. Leave a comment. It is nice to know like that people are enjoying it and stuff. We're on Twitter, Blue Sky, where we're Flashback 64 or Flashback 64 Pod on those things. We have a Instagram now. I didn't write that, but we have an Instagram as well. The Etsy I mentioned. You can email us, flashback64pod@gmail.com. No one's emailed us. I don't think anyone will ever email us because who does that? But I don't know. It might be kind of fun. Send us an email. And join our Discord. We have a link in the description, hopefully, where you can join. That's where it's happening. There's, like you mentioned, the gourmet race chat. That is popping off always. We're talking about wrestling, and there's a wrestling chat. Video games, movies. I've added board games. There's not much activity there, but just stuff in general. Obviously, you can talk about the show. And then of course we do our game nights. So
yeah,
I think this will be out. We've been doing mostly Mario Kart. We've kind of tried to do different things to mix it up. But if this comes out before our next one, we're going to. I was hesitant to do any of the games that aren't 4-player that we've covered just because we have so many people show up. But I think I've thought of a good way to incorporate Wave Race 64. So we're gonna do our typical Mario Kart 64 night, but we're gonna do just a mini Wave Race tournament where we can have a bunch of 2-player races going all at once, and I think that'll be a lot of fun as well. So come join if you want to play some Wave Race. You don't have to be good at it. Mario Kart, and of course we're gonna have other games as time goes on. So
yeah.
Anyway, thanks to everyone for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.